Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. The World Series is set. It's going to be the Yankees versus the Dodgers. That Yankees Guardians series was one of the best series we've gotten in a long time.
Yep.
And then the Dodgers finish off the Mets tonight. The Mets have fought all season. It just kind of seemed like the Dodgers were a little bit overpowering on the Mets, in my opinion. But that Guardians series, going back to that, was one of the best series that I've seen in a hot minute. And I think that it definitely could have went the other way.
Yeah.
The ball bounced, you know, for in the Guardians' way, but it went with the Yankees, and the Yankees are back in the World Series for the first time since 2009.
Yeah, 100%. That big Christmas homer, and then the Lane Thomas homer. It's just been the Guardian just had a knack of clutch hits at opportune times. And um the camera angle on that big Christmas one, it was a little deceiving. I thought that one was gone and it ended up being a routine fly ball to Verdugo, but what more can you say about Juan Soto, right? I mean, that's why they got him for swings like that, right? Huge go-ahead homer in the 10th to get to the Yankees back to the World Series. That's just what that guy does. I mean, that's why he's going to get $700 million probably on the open market next season. Don't know if that's going to be from the Yankees or from somebody else, but full credit to the Guardians. I think they made it a lot better series than I expected. You look at their starting pitching. Obviously, the credit goes to the Yankees there, and the edge goes to the Yankees. But a kind of uncharacteristic playoffs from Emmanuel Clase. The guy was nearly unhittable all season long, and 10 plus postseason ERA. The Tigers got him a couple times. The Yankees ended up touching him up a couple times. So that was tough. But yep, Yankees are back in the World Series, and it's good for baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. And then flipping back to that Dodgers series, uh, a little bit closer than we thought, at least in my opinion. Obviously, the Mets were having a great season where they got hot at the right time and they come back in the wild card. They get it done in the DS, and they have to go up against the Dodgers, who were heavy favorites. And they hung in there with them, battled with them. It's just the Dodgers just scored way too many runs. That pitching staff, I don't know if it's a credit to the Dodgers offense, which obviously is stacked, or just the Mets pitching staff just couldn't get it done. I guess we'll find out in this Yankee series. In my opinion, obviously with Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Luis Hill, who's having a great year. We'll see what the Dodgers offense does against those types of pitchers. Not to knock anybody on the Mets, but the Yankees obviously have had the better season.
Yeah.
Um, with that said, we're getting it. You have it as your background right there. It's Judge versus Otani. These guys, it seems like, uh, have been going after it against each other for the past 3 to 4 seasons now. It reminds me of back in the day. I'm an Angels fan, but when Bryce Harper and Mike Trout came up, right? It was always Harper and Trout, Harper and Trout, Harper and Trout. Now it's Otani and Judge, constantly Otani and Judge.
Yeah.
Judge hits all those home runs, he wins the MVP. Otani does Otani things, he wins the MVP. Obviously, now Otani's out of the American League, and I'm sure Aaron Judge will win a couple more MVPs in his time. But now we're back to Otani versus Judge, and it's on the grandest stage of them all, being the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
And now I guess this is round three. This is round three right here. They both got the MVPs in the American League, and now it's who's going to get the ring. And I'm excited to see one of them get it.
Yeah, no, this is honestly like if you're sitting in the commissioner's office, if you're Rob Manfred now, like you're grinning ear to ear. Like this is gonna bring in a ton of money for the game. This is best against best. Like you said in previous videos, no disrespect to the D-backs and the Rangers, but this is like two heavyweights going at it. And honestly, this might be one of the best World Series that we'll see in our lifetime. Honestly, this has the hype. This has the potential to be an unbelievable series, and I'm just hoping it lives up to the hype.
Yeah, and obviously it's not just Judge and Otani. You have Soto, you have Mookie Betts, you have Freddie Freeman. Hopefully, that gets a little bit healthier in the next week. You have Giancarlo Stanton, who seems like he's back to being MVP Stanton right now. There's just a lot of firepower here, like you said. Hopefully, it lives up to the hype. I think regardless, even if it is a sweep here, maybe, if that happens, I still think that lives up to the hype because you get to see all these big stars going for a ring. Obviously, Betts and Freeman have one, Soto has one, but Stan and Judge do not. So, um, yeah, I think it will come down to experience. The Dodgers probably have a little bit more playoff experience as a whole. Adding a guy like Tommy Edman, who hats off to him, just won the NLCS MVP award.
Yep.
Um, he came out of nowhere, obviously midseason trade there.
Yeah.
They have Kike Hernandez. They bring him back, who's done it a bunch of times in the playoffs. And the Yankees, they do have a guy like Anthony Rizzo, who's been doing it a long time in the playoffs. So there is experience on both sides. I think it's going to come down to the pitching staffs, in my opinion. And the Dodgers pitching staff, starting pitching staff, is not very strong right now, but their bullpen definitely takes the edge, against the Yankees bullpen.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you had um at the start of the season, the Yankees, or pardon me, the Dodgers had one of the best rotations on paper, right? All of a sudden you got no Glasnow for the season. Kershaw is out for the season, right? And you got Yamamoto who just came back. Obviously, you picked up Flaherty at the deadline. Walker Buehler is a huge wild card. If it goes to 7 games, they're gonna two of those games are gonna have to be bullpen games, and so that gives the edge to the Yankees. But I just feel like um, I'll give the edge to the Dodgers bullpen wise. Offenses are pretty close. Um, but yeah, the starting pitching might win or lose this World Series for sure. I'm gonna agree with you there.
Yeah, and this is going to be the 12th time that these two teams have met.
Yeah,
They haven't met in 43 years, though.
yeah.
This will be the most matched up two teams in the World Series. It already was before both these teams clinched, but yeah, this will be the 12th time that they're meeting, and so far the Yankees are 8-3. What is that? I don't know. They always say history repeats itself. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah,
Um, One thing is how good is Garrett Cole going to be,
right.
right? This postseason, he's 1-0 with a 3.31 ERA, but he has had to leave some games early, and he's left those games with bases loaded, and the bullpen's bailed him out a couple times. So,
Mhm.
um, he could potentially pitch a game 1, 4, and 7, while really you're looking at Flaherty, Yamamoto, and Bueller as the starters for the Dodgers.
Yeah,
Um, we'll see. We'll see what you get. Yamamoto at times has looked unhittable and at times has looked like VP. So you could say the same for Bueller this year. He just isn't getting the swings and misses like he was before early in his career.
yeah.
Um, and then again, Carlos Rodon's been on a good stretch of ball lately. Luis Hill has had a tremendous season. With that said, I think, if we're getting into prediction time, I'm going to take the Yankees and I'm going to take them in 5 games.
I'm gonna go with the Yankees. I'm gonna go in 6 games, so 5 games that's pretty bold. I like it though.
Yeah.
I respect it. We both picked the Yankees to go to the World Series on the AL side way back in March. So we were pretty high on this team. Me being a Jays fan does suck seeing the Yankees in the World Series, but at the same time, it is good for baseball. And like I said, I just hope it lives up to the hype. Um, I'm gonna be in California during the World Series, so that'll be kind of cool to experience that as well too. So yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be an awesome series.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're an Angels fan like myself, I guess you look at it as, man, you hate the Yankees. And depending on what kind of Angels fan you are, you hate the Dodgers. That's not me. They play each other 4 to 6 games a year.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a crosstown rival. But thinking realistically, how much do those games really impact the season with one another? But obviously it's they have Shohei Otani,
Yeah,
who, dependent on how um, connected you are still to Shohei, only being 1 year removed from playing with the Angels and probably being the best player of all time. I think there will be a lot of Angels fans going for the Dodgers. Just like there might be a lot of Mets fans going for the Yankees
yeah,
because it's a lose-lose for them. It's the team that just beat them,
yeah,
and it's their crosstown rival, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
um, with that said, I would love to see Shohei Ohtani get a ring. I think he'll probably get plenty of rings with the Dodgers, if we're being quite honest. I just am taking the Yankees in five just because of the season that they've had. And the postseason that they've had, they've been clutching up in big moments. The Dodgers really haven't had those big moment games yet. Like it's been blowouts, it's been cruising. I just don't know what we're gonna get when if they're not cruising against this Yankees team. And I think one of the reasons why I'm taking the Yankees in five is because I'm predicting they're gonna win the World Series in New York. Um, we'll see. Bright lights of New York, how the Dodgers um and the Dodgers react to that. They've never played a team like this in the playoffs. Um, they've seen them against the Rays in the World Series, right? When they
Obviously,
won
yeah,
it.
yeah, Houston, right, in 2017.
Yeah.
That was kind of shadowed by the cheating scandal, obviously, but
They faced the Red Sox in the World
yeah,
Series. They lost that World Series.
yeah, yeah,
So we'll see. We'll see. Very, very interested in this matchup as everybody else is. But I am taking the Yankees in five because I think they're going to win in the Bronx.
yeah,
That's why I'm taking them in five.
yeah. I respect that pick. I could see it, but I'm gonna go six, and I just think the Yankees have uh, more guys have been clutch for them in the postseason for them right now. Like you got Soto, Judge, you got Stanton. And like on the Dodgers side, you got like guys like Teoscar Hernandez and Kike stepping up too, right? So there is been kind of some role guys. This is going to be such a good series. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I will say if Aaron Judge doesn't get it going, then
It might
my
be in
pick might
trouble.
be in the trash.
Might be
So,
in trouble.
and then Freddie Freeman obviously is going to be a big game changer
Yeah,
as
it's nice to
well.
get
And
what 5 days, 5 days before game one to get some treatment,
Friday.
and so that them winning tonight definitely helps his chances for sure.
Yep. Well, before we go, who wins the who wins the World Series MVP if you're taking the Yankees?
I'm gonna go Juan Soto. I think
Juan Soto's gonna have,
Soto is built for the moment. What's he, 23 years old? This is the second World Series. 24 maybe. I mean, just seeing him hit the homer to go ahead and send him the World Series and just stare into the dugout, then just trot her out. Like he is so cocky and it's awesome. Like it's,
yeah,
I wish the Jays had a guy like that. It's awesome. He's so electric to watch. Seeing Stanton, kind of rejuvenalize his career, not career, but season kind of, the Yankees obviously had this vision for Stanton to have moments like this in a Yankee uniform. He's just been nagging with injuries the last few years, and now he's finally healthy and he's hitting huge homers and propelling them to a lot of success. So it's nice to see him kind of bounce back and kind of live up to why the Yankees traded for him in the first place. And then obviously you got Aaron Judge. So yeah, but to answer your question, long story short, I do think Juan Soto will win the MVP.
yeah.
Who you
And
going with?
um, in this series, if it's the Yankees, I'm gonna go with Aaron Judge. This
Yeah.
is the reason why. I've watched I've watched the Yankees play against the Dodgers, all those games they, play. Last year, obviously, Judge got crashed in the wall, hurt his foot. Um, but over the past couple of years, Dodger fans know this. Stanton hits at Dodger Stadium. He's freaking hit one out of the stadium before.
Mhm.
Aaron Judge hits at Dodger Stadium, and Juan Soto has done it against the Dodgers in the playoffs when he was on
Yeah.
the Nats.
Yeah.
So, I'm not trying to poke the bear there. I'm just saying they've had success in Dodger Stadium. And then on the flip side, as an Angels fan, I've watched Shohei hit in Yankee Stadium. It's a K or it's a homer. He hits a lot of homers
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
He's batting like 190, but he has like nine home runs against the Yankees.
Yeah.
So maybe go do a baseball reference check on that. Um, and type in ballparks, and you'll see he crushes the ball at Yankee Stadium, but he strikes out a ton at Yankee Stadium too. And though I feel like Shohei has kind of gotten over the hump of the big moment this year.
Mhm.
Um, when he was with the Angels, there were times where when the lights got a little bit brighter,
Got a little too big.
he got a little too big, tried to do a little bit too much. So as long as he doesn't do that, they're going to be okay. Obviously, Mookie Betts has had a ton of success against the Yankees in the past. Freddie Freeman being in the National League, they really haven't seen each other. Um, but yeah, I would just say, I mean, you're a Jays fan. How much does Teoscar hit against the Yankees in the past?
Okay, Oscar Hernandez. He hit all those homers in Fenway too, but he has had some pretty big games in Yankee Stadium. I'm not sure what his batting average is, but he has had a few homers there. But for the Dodgers, it was, I mean, their season flashed before their eyes to the Padres. They were on the ropes against the Padres, down 2-1 on the road in San Diego, and they find a way to get it done. So yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be awesome.
Before we go,
Yeah,
last question.
yeah,
Does it concern you that the Yankees have only had to face AL Central opponents throughout this? And not a knock on the AL Central, but it's been the Royals and the Guardians put up a great fight. I mean,
yeah. They did.
the Guardians came to play for sure, but people are saying, right, it's been a cakewalk to the World Series. They call it the most Mickey Mouse path to the World Series. Perfect. We said it when we saw what it was matching up like with the O's getting out in the wild card. Like the Yankees have the path to the World Series this year. If they don't go, if they're in trouble, obviously no problems. They got here. But does it concern you that the Dodgers are a little bit more battle tested this year in the playoffs, facing a good Padres team? I would say the Guardians are better than the Mets, but
Yeah,
does it concern you that the Dodgers have played better teams up to this point?
I don't think so. I think the Yankees lineup will speak for itself, and how good the Yankees are will speak for itself. I mean, I guess we'll find out if the Yankees are built for the moment. Obviously, we know the Dodgers are built for the moment. They've had some clutch moments throughout all of this playoffs. As I mentioned, they were on the ropes, and the Yankees, there's a couple times that Guardian series, I'm like, ooh, like the Yankees might blow this. And then they hit the clutch homer by Stanton, and they hit the clutch homer by Soto. And when they got walked off in game four, right? Game four, they had a great bounce back game to kind of put that in the rear view mirror. So I think that was good for them to go through a loss like that. I think that kind of was like a reality check, a kind of a wake up call for that team that says like, hey, like we got to get going here if we want to get to the World Series. And um, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the AL Central opponents. The Yankees will be ready to go, I'd expect for sure.
Alrighty, that's gonna do it for this one. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, and leave your prediction in the comments if you've gotten this far. We'd like to hear from you. I'm sure there will be plenty of Dodger fans that don't like our pick. With us both going with the Yanks, but yeah. Again, thank you guys for listening and watching. It's been a crazy year. You know, this channel's grown a lot. We've relaunched this channel with 100 subs, and we're close to 3,000 subs now. So, gonna keep it rolling, and appreciate you guys. Take care. Later.